What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Taylor with Hoyt's Trailer Center. Today we're going to talk about how to properly hook a trailer up. Let's do it. Now, if you've ever hooked a trailer up before, or you do it every day, this is just going to be common sense for you. This is a review. But for people who maybe haven't pulled a trailer before, or are just renting one, or are becoming first-time trailer owners, this video will provide a great foundation of the proper way to hook a trailer up to make sure that you and your load arrive safely. Now, before you even consider buying a trailer or pulling a trailer, you need to make sure that your vehicle is capable of pulling that. Your gross vehicle weight rating on the trailer should not exceed the towing capacity of the vehicle. In this case, I can tow a shade under 7,000 pounds with my truck. The GVWR of this trailer is 7,000 pounds. So as long as I don't come close to maxing out the trailer capacity, I should be okay. Another thing you want to pay attention to is the weight capacity of your hitch. This one happens to be a 7,500 pound Curt hitch, should give us plenty of capacity. If this is your first time hooking a trailer up, you'll want a friend to help you, just to simply help you back up and get in the right position. You can do this process by yourself. With the advent of modern technology like this backup camera, it makes this super simple. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do when backing up to the trailer is stop with about a foot to spare. Then you're going to check your eye level and make sure that your receiver is below the coupler of the trailer. Now, this will allow you to back underneath of it and start this process. So first things first, let's make sure the hitch matches the ball. I have a 2-inch ball clearly labeled on my Curt hitch here, and then on this Demco EZ-latch hitch, it's labeled 2-inch ball. Now, on most receivers, you're going to need to lift this up. On this Demco EZ-latch, you don't. You leave it down and it'll click into place. But always make sure, as a force of habit, that you lift this up. Second thing you're going to do is make sure that it's lined up, and you're going to crank your jack down. Sometimes you may need to give it a little tug to get it to slide into position and go all the way down. Okay? Now I see that underneath my jack footing, I've got free space, which means all the weight is on my truck. So a good way to test to make sure that this is latched is to jack it back up. Now, instead of this coming off the ball, you should see the truck start to lift up. And in this case, I think that's pretty solid. So what we're going to do is get your jack free from the ground again. And then I'm going to pull this pin, and then we're going to lock this into position. So now that can't go anywhere. The second thing you're going to want to do is take your safety chains and lay them out, stretch them out so the links aren't twisted. Now, most states' DOT laws require you to loop these chains. In this case, I'm going to loop them a couple of times because we do not want these chains dragging on the ground. Now, the purpose of chains is twofold. Number one, if this for whatever reason becomes detached from the vehicle, these chains are going to keep that trailer from going off to Arizona. The second thing is, when you loop them like this, they act as a cradle. So when this falls, it doesn't dig into the road surface. These chains catch it. So now that we've made sure that those are attached, we've inspected the chains, make sure there's no cuts or abrasions. The next step is your breakaway. Now what this does, I want to make sure that's securely connected. If this trailer does become disconnected from the truck and the chains fail, this is your last stop here. This pulls a pin in here, and since this trailer is equipped with axle brakes, it will lock those brakes up as soon as this pin gets pulled out. So it's very important that you have this secured to the vehicle. Now your last step is wiring. This is a 7-pin, and it's very common along with 4-pin, but we want to make sure that we get that all the way seated to where on the door right here there's a little flap that keeps it from coming disconnected. We don't want this dragging on the ground at all. So in this case, if you have a little bit of slack, you want to wrap it around the frame of the trailer, get it plugged back in, and that's not going to hit the ground, and I've got enough slack during turns. Now we've done all of the physical aspects of hooking a trailer up. The last step now is to check our lights, so let's do that now. Now in this situation, normally you want a friend helping you. That way they can identify what lights are working or aren't working, and if any lights are not working, the trailer is not roadworthy, so get them repaired or replaced. So what I'm going to do is start my vehicle, and I'm going to turn on my running lights to make sure all the pins work. And here I'm testing the brakes. And then a good secret weapon is turning on your hazards, and that should make your turn signals all blink. Running light, 2 running lights. Blinkers working, brake lights work. We're ready to rock. Another important aspect of pulling a trailer is making sure that the trailer is riding correctly. So as it sits right now, this trailer is perfectly level, and that's how you want it, if not just a little bit uphill towards the truck. This is to avoid swaying, especially with smaller single axle trailers or trailers that are loaded improperly. You get a lot of swaying, and as soon as that speed wobble starts happening, you're really in a tough spot. So make sure that the trailer's level or slightly uphill, and when you load the trailer, most of your weight needs to be over the axles. Don't load it back heavy, don't load it front heavy, or it's going to cause problems for you.
We're behind you all the way. Hoyt's Trailer Center.